In the darkness, a red glow caught your eyes. What was emitting that light was red drops. It is a mysterious, drop-shaped substance that fascinates all who see it. It looks like an ore, but is actually a high-density liquid. It is said to occur naturally in extremely rare cases over a long period of time in wetlands and caves. Due to its rarity, it is traded at high prices on the market and has fascinated people from all over the world, past and present, and many legends have been passed down about it. And now, a new story about red drops is about to begin.
Hello everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Yuntaro. I'm from Japan. In this video, I'll be introducing the card game, Red Drops. This card game is for solo play only. It is compact and easy to play, and you can experience a very original worldview. The cards are designed to make the game intuitive to play, and you can enjoy a little dilemma. I hope you like it. Okay, let's experience the world of Red Drops together. Here we go!
Red Drops.
Inside the box are only 36 cards and one manual. The manual we're watching in this video is in Japanese, but don't worry. The cards themselves are language independent, so you can play just by watching this video once. Okay? Let's go! In this game, there are 2 extension cards for advanced users, so let's remove them first. The white frame is Hunter card, and the other is Peppermint card. I'll show you how to use these cards at the end of this video. Okay, so let's use the remaining cards to experience the basic game of Red Drops. With me, come on. Oh my god, I forgot. It's important. I mean, we need to check what the purpose of this game is. The player has only one goal, to hold a banquet. Yes, a banquet. That's kind of crazy, right? Welcome to the world of Red Drops. Tonight, famous castle lords from all over the country will gather and a banquet will be held. To make it a grand event, player must dress them in appropriate ornaments. So from now on, you are tasked with procuring such valuable items within the time limit. To solve it, you need to manage the castle servants who are good at finding red drops. Good luck to you. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards we'll be using. There are 2 main types. These cards with red frames are Lord cards. The other cards with black frames are Servant cards. There are 10 lords, each living in a different castle. They have a slightly dark appearance, including a mummy, a zombie, vampires, and ghosts. Interestingly, they have different ranks, and to attend a banquet, they need to wear valuable decorations according to their rank. The numbers 1 to 3 on the top left of the card indicate rank. The top right and bottom of the card indicate the prerequisites for the lord to dress up. More on this later. Okay, the next cards will help these lords attend the banquet. Yes, they are servant cards. Let's go! The top left of every servant card shows the servant type, which there are 4 types of mosquito, bat, tick, and leech. They are creatures that humans dislike, but in this world they are loved like mascots. They are also experts in searching for valuable treasures. The number shown on the top right of the card is what they have searched for all over the country, and is collected red drops. Some servants will find some red drops, but some will not find any, thus hindering your work. One more thing. It's exciting. Each type of servant has a different special ability, which is shown at the bottom of the card. I'll introduce them in order later. Okay?
Red Drops.
Now, let's set up the game. It's very simple. First, shuffle the Lord cards face down, then create 2 Lord piles of 5 cards. At this time, make the piles so that the bottom of both piles are rank 3, the middle is rank 2, and the top is rank 1. Is that okay? At this time, the 2 piles are placed on the left and right with a space of 2 cards between them. Finally, draw 1 card from each of the piles adjacent to that space and place it there face up. Okay, these 2 face-up cards are the lords who must now get ready to attend the banquet. The game proceeds as follows. You choose one of these 2 lords. Under your control, the servants present valuable items to the one. This means that the one is now ready to attend the banquet. That's it. Then, a new lord card is revealed from the pile, and in the second half of the game, you will face a higher ranking lord. Okay, so next we're going to set up the servant cards. It's super easy, just shuffle them face down and create a deck. Now we're ready to play. You win. If all 10 lords are dressed, the banquet will be held. You lose if you decide that it is not possible to dress all of them.
レッドドロップス
Now, let's actually play the basic game from here. Let's take a look at how to play the game in detail. You will progress through the game by taking one of 3 actions. Each action has different prerequisites and effects. The first action you can take is Summon Servants. Summon the Lord's servants, who are traveling around searching for red drops, to their castle. Here's how it works. Draw 4 cards from the servant deck and place them face up in the area to the right of the deck. This is the area given to the servants. For easy handling, store the cards in quarters by type. So this area is aptly called Servants' Quarters. The prerequisite for this action is that there are no cards or only one type of card in them. Servants' Quarters. For example, if there are 2 bats, you can take this action. But if there are 2 or more types, such as a leech and a bat, you cannot take this action. Also, if there are not 4 cards in the deck, just draw them all and you'll be fine. In this case, since there are 3 servant types in the servants' quarters, you cannot continue with summoned servants. Therefore, take the second action. Finish dressing up. When you take this action, you dress up one of the face-up lord cards and that one enters the banquet hall. This action has 2 different prerequisites, and you can do it if you have enough cards in the servants' quarters to fulfill one of them. The first is when you can offer the same or more value as the desired red drops value shown in the upper right corner of the lord card. The second is when you can offer the same number of servant types as the favorite servants shown at the bottom of the lord card. Okay? In either case, as long as you can fulfill the prerequisites, you can freely choose the servant cards you want to offer. This time, the prerequisites for favorite servants have not been cleared. Because you don't have 2 tick cards or 2 bat cards, right? The other prerequisite, desired red drops value, has been cleared for both lords. However, even if you offer the 3 drops card to the lord on the left, you won't get any change. So, it's up to you. But here, let's offer the 1 and 3 drops cards and dress up the lord on the right. The servant cards needed for this action are placed on the left side of the deck, that is, in the discard pile. The dressed up lord card goes to the banquet hall, so let's put it somewhere that's easy to see and doesn't get in the way. Okay. Then, if there's a lord pile adjacent to the empty space where that lord was, flip over the top card and place it there face up. A small note, in this process, you can only draw from adjacent lord piles, so be careful. For example, let's say you've progressed through the game, and you've dressed the last lord on the left, which is rank 3. At that point, even if there's still the right lord pile remaining, you can't draw from it to place in the empty space on the left. Now, let's go back to the rest of the game. What? If you look closely. The 2 actions we've learned so far, summon servants and finish dressing up, can't be used in this situation, right? Okay, so this is our third and final action, which you can use if you have 1 or more servant cards in your servants' quarters. The action name is Kick Out a Servant. Wow, it sounds a little pitiful, but it's an important action, so listen up. When you take this action, choose a servant card from the servants' quarters and place it in the discard pile. But listen up, A faithful and capable servant doesn't just go away without doing anything. Because at that moment, if you want, you can use the servant ability you just discarded. The servant's ability can only be used when this action is taken. Each servant type has its own effect. And even if the servant type is the same, the power of the effect varies depending on the card. To gain an advantage in the game, you will need to think about how to use these. Well, okay, up to here? Well, from now on, we will focus on the 4 types of servant abilities and proceed through the game.
Ladies and gentlemen.
First, let me introduce the back card ability. When you discard a back card, you can choose a certain number of cards from the servant's quarters and place them together near the lord on either the left or right. The certain number is less than or equal to the number shown in the ability column to the back card. Is that okay? So, in this case, you can choose up to 2 cards. The cards placed here are not treated as servant cards, but as something different, and are called Artificial Drops cards. Overview of Artificial Drops cards. These are cards whose servants have temporarily become red drops due to the back card ability. The lord who has placed this card will treat the desired red drops value as being reduced by 1 for each card placed. So, in this situation, the lord on the right can dress up for 2 drops instead of 3 drops. In this state, the collected red drops shown in the upper right corner of the servant card is ignored, so be careful. If you place a number of cards equal to the desired red drops value shown on the lord's card, you follow the same procedure as if that person had finished dressing up. Okay? However, the cards in this state are not servants, right? So these cards do not count towards the prerequisites of the lord's favorite servants. And anyway, if you finish dressing up the lord and these cards are there, they turn back into servant cards and you put them in the discard pile. Well, in this way, when you take into account the use of the servant's abilities, you can see that this is a very strategic game, right? Well, I'll continue playing silently until we use the next ability. Please watch for a while. Sorry for the wait, and thank you. The second thing I'll introduce here is the Leech card ability. When you discard a Leech card, check the value shown in its ability column. Then choose 1 servant card from the discard pile that matches the collected red drops value. Yes, you can place it in your servant's quarters. In this case, we can choose 1 drop servant card from the discard pile. I tried this mosquito card. Now let's use the Mosquito card ability we just got. When you discard a Mosquito card, you can draw the number of cards from your deck that matches the ability column. If you do, store them all in the servant's quarters. So, in this case, you can draw 6 cards from your deck. Also, if you don't have enough cards in your deck, just draw them all and you'll be fine. Okay, this is the last ability I'm going to introduce. Please wait a moment. Sorry to keep you waiting, thank you. Look, can you understand this situation? The discard pile keeps increasing, and we don't have enough usable cards, so we're in trouble, okay? But don't worry. This is when the Tick card ability comes in handy. But we don't have it right now, so this time, let's use the Leech card we have in hand to recall it from the discard pile, and then use it. Good job, Leech, you're a nice guy. When you discard a Tick card, choose the same number of cards from your discard pile as the numbers shown in its ability column, and remove them all from the pile. If you don't have enough discard piles, just remove them all and you'll be fine. After doing this, shuffle all cards remaining in both the discard pile and your deck, and create a new servant deck. You can freely choose which cards to remove, including the tick card that used the ability. However, be careful because the removed cards will never be returned to your deck or servant's quarters again.
Red drops.
Well, thank you for watching this far. If you use these 3 actions and 4 abilities well, I'm sure you'll be able to hold a grand banquet tonight. So this is the end of the introduction video for the mysterious and fascinating red drops. Who will be the next to give the summons to the servants? I believe it will be you. What? It seems like a mysterious figure is creeping up along with a dangerous smell. Oh my god, I forgot. I promised, of course. Finally, let's briefly introduce the 2 expansion cards. These cards can be played separately or together, adding a thrilling touch to the world of red drops. Peppermint card. Peppermint is a herb that grows wild all over the country, and has a smell that servants hate. It will be a big hindrance when collecting red drops. Here's how to use it. When you create a servant card deck to set up the game, add this card. If you draw this card from the deck during the game, place it in the discard pile along with all the servant cards you drew at the time. This card cannot be removed from the discard pile, even by using the tick card ability, meaning that you are constantly exposed to the threat of this card while in play. Hunter card. The hunters are villains who are after the decorations of the lords. The servants must band together to guard the lords and prevent them from entering the banquet hall. When using this card, before the start of the game, decide which side of this card you will challenge and place it on the table. The side with the higher number has a higher difficulty. If you challenge this card, you may lose even if you hold the banquet in the end. When you hold the banquet, you must judge whether you won or lost by comparing the following 2 simple numbers. Number 1. The total collected red drops value of all servant cards that were removed by tick card abilities. Number 2. The lost drops, value shown in the upper right corner of the hunter card you are challenging. Compared to the above 2, if the total collected value removed is less than the lost drops, the game is lost. This means that you can no longer win by simply removing servant cards with low collected values, which means an additional dilemma.
レッドドロップス。
Well, what did you think? This is the end of the Red Drops introduction video, and thank you so much for watching. Well, I'll see you again in another video. Goodbye, everyone.
静かな夜に輝くレッド館の扉が今開かれるレガツの魅力に引き込まれ今胸が高鳴るよレッドラッツ長い暗闇でレッドラッツ見つけた光レッドラッツ扉が開かれるレッドラッツ in the long darkness レッドラッツ that I found レッドラッツ the noise so funny 空い暗闇で見つけたレッドドッツ赤い雫を探し出す冒険心躍る世界が広がる扉を開くのは君自身
In the darkness, a red glow caught your eyes. What was emitting that light?